Okay, I'm going to start a new video here with working on the mouth area and a little bit on the chin as well. I want to make a little bit of a correction on something I see that needs to change as far as the shape. So I noticed that the chin is cut in just a little bit too far to the left. It should come out to the right side a bit more. And I need to cover over my sketch lines anyway, so I'm going to do both at the same time. Let's take a little bit of white, some medium, get some fresh medium on the palette. Over time, that medium starts to dry up, and it's good to get some fresh medium right away. So some white, a little bit of yellow, or raw sienna rather, and a bit of red, orange, burnt sienna, and a little bit of red again. Let's see what we got here. It's going to have to get a little warmer. For lightening it up, we have to add a lot to compensate. So I'm adding some Indian yellow and some red orange just to lighten that up a little bit. And let's go over that. Now I need to add some white because it's a little too dark in value. And I don't quite like that yet. I'll play around with it just a bit more. Raw sienna, burnt sienna, just a bit of each. Okay, that'll be close enough. I'm going to extend this out just a bit more than what it was going over the sketch line. Just increasing the size then of her chin just a bit. Add a little bit of white. Go over the sketch lines on the bottom. Some white. Oh, we'll need to tone that down a little bit. Might have to alter the color later, but this will be just to change it. Might be a little too low. Oh, I think I had it right. You could see already the chin was getting a bit too long. But nevertheless, I do want to get rid of that pencil. Let's see. Take some of this redder color, blend that out a little bit. Just dab it a little bit with my finger to soften that up. And that'll work for right now. I'll let that dry, but let's work on something else. Let's work on the teeth a little bit more, and the lips and the gums. I'll take some red, natural red, and a little bit of white to tone it down. Mix it into this pinkish color I had over here. Let's go in and just darken a couple spots. Paying attention to which tooth this dark spot in the gum falls on. That's the third one over. I'll mix it into this lighter color so I can blend that out with the wet on wet blending. Just in a very small area. Take a little of this color, this red that I had, and get it into the crevice of those gums where it's going to be a little darker because the light doesn't get in there. Very subtle though, I don't want to overdo that, as I've said many, many times as I'm painting. Then I want to take some of this pink. Let's make this very, very pink. add some straight red, just a bit of red orange, and some white, and then some glaze, some medium. Let's make a nice pink that we can go over this area with. Gum should be pretty much just straight pink. So we'll just go over it with a really nice soft glaze. And this might be a little dark in this one spot. Take a bit of white and we'll tone down just this one area right here. Okay, let's get a little separation in these teeth. I'm going to take raw umber dark, mix it into this kind of warmish tone I have here, and get a little definition between the teeth. It's very easy to overdo that, so you need to keep it pretty subtle. So add a little white, maybe a little raw sienna. Let's tone this down and blend it out a little bit. Okay. I want to lengthen the front teeth just a bit. So I'm going to take some white, mix it into this off-white color up here, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, just a little bit. Make sure I'm keeping the shape the same kind of proportion as what I see. It's looking too long and skinny. I might have overdone it. Now let's take a little bit of raw sienna, add a little shading, and we'll just add it to this right side, thin it out with a little medium. And then just get a little dimension on the tooth. I add the highlights, that'll really help it to pop. I don't want to overdo that distinction between the two teeth, and I might have overdone it a little bit, so let's soften that just a bit. Let's also soften it at this point down here. So you can see it's a little bit lighter at the bottom there. Stab it a little bit. Also, I need to refine the shape on this tooth. Soften the lines, because realism is not all about having very sharp defined lines or lots of detail. Sometimes realism is the lack of detail. I have to look at the shape of this tooth and see if I like what I did or not. Possibly I might have overdone it. I'm gauging the length of what the tooth should be based on how close it is to the bottom lip. but it is possible that that bottom lip is not going up high enough. Let's take some of this dark Romber dark mix here, bring it into this warmer color I had from before, and let's go back into the tooth and shorten it a little bit. Let's make sure I have the shapes correct here. Also, I can cut in on this tooth on the right, make sure that's the correct shape. And we'll just bring some shadows from that and blend them right in. Just bring these right out. Okay, let's continue a little bit more. I'm going to stop this recording actually right here. I think I might have recorded at a lower resolution than I should have. I apologize for that. I'm going to stop right here and pick it up again. And hopefully this time it'll be in a higher resolution. So you see you in the next video.